Arsenal and PSV play out a 1-1 draw in the Champions League, the final Champions League group stage game for Arsenal. And I mean, it was a pretty meaningless game, and a 1-1 draw is pretty much what you'd expect from it. It felt a lot of the time like a friendly, especially in the first half. The second half was a lot more competitive and an easier watch, but I mean, I would be honest with you guys, if I wasn't an Arsenal fan, I would classify that game as hella boring. So for the starting 11, it was maybe a little stronger than I expected. Well, I say that, and it was basically the team I expected outside of maybe Saliba, who I don't know why he was starting. Honestly, I think we had more than enough people to be replaced in Saliba that it was kind of a needless risk. But outside of that, Ramsdale, Cedric, Gabriel, Kivior, I'm all fine with playing. Again, I would have liked to rest Gabriel as well, but we just don't have enough rotational players to be playing at centre back. Jorginho, Elneny and Havertz was a pretty nice midfield on paper. Glad to see Elneny getting more game time. And then up front was the exact starting front three that I predicted, with Trossard, Nketiah and Nelson. It was also really nice to see 3 academy players on the bench that haven't played for the first team yet in Walters, Sosa and Winieri, and then Smith Rowe being included in the matchday squad on the bench, but included in the matchday squad. If you guys don't know by now, my favorite player in Arsenal, Smith Rowe, so it was a beautiful sight to see. Now, I don't think we actually had the greatest first half, and I don't blame us. I mean, again, this game is meaningless and we are essentially playing for pride and for the Arsenal badge, which isn't meaningless in itself, but I mean, you don't want to make any injuries, you want to put in a good name for yourself, you don't want to make any mistakes. So that first half, I think the best way to describe how it went down, it was kind of a friendly type of intensity to the game. PSV had nothing to play for neither, and to be honest, I think in the first half it was a 50-50 half. Neither team were really the better team. PSV had much better chances, much more chances than us, but we were clinical. Eddie Nketiah getting a goal off a Reece Nelson assist and a good team build-up play, including Cedric. It was a beautiful finish from Eddie Nketiah on his left foot through the legs, inside into the bottom corner. Beautiful finish. Reece Nelson had done really well throughout the first half and definitely deserved an assist for his efforts, but outside of that, it was kind of just a friendly intensity to the game. Not much really happening. No team really needed to play for much, so neither team was really trying to risk too much, and I think we were quite fortunate to go into the half 1-0 up. Again, I don't think we were bad, but I don't think we were the better team, but I'm gonna take it. We were clinical, and Eddie Nketiah got his first ever Champions League goal for Arsenal. So happy for him, an academy boy getting their first ever Champions League goal for Arsenal. Nothing but happiness, nothing but a smile on my face when I see that happening. And now to start off the second half, you could tell there was immediately more intensity from both teams, particularly PSV, and Vitesse gets a goal, rewarding PSV for their good start to the second half. A very good goal in off the post. Nothing Ramsdale could have done about that. Saliba got caught out of position, and that's what it was. Vitesse with a really good right-footed goal in off the post to equalize the game to make it 1-1. Elneny unfortunately got injured towards the 60th minute, but we then made some subs that I'm really curious as to why we even made. William Saliba coming off for Ben White. Okay, I understand that you want to spread the minutes out between the two, but I just find it ridiculous. I find it ridiculous. Listen, we're playing a game that doesn't matter. We've won our group. Elneny's just come off injured. We have players like Smith Rowe, who's coming back from injury, who wouldn't mind a half an hour of playtime. Yet you bring on Declan Rice, who we all know needs a break. You bring on Martin Odegaard, who we all know needs a break. I know Cedric wasn't doing too bad and he had a decent performance, but I just don't understand taking him off, moving Declan Rice into centre back, Ben White at right back, and bringing on Martin Odegaard. Honestly, I can kind of get behind Declan Rice going to centre back, but Martin Odegaard, as much as I love seeing him play, he needs a break. Why he was brought on, I have no idea. And after those substitutes, as much as I really don't like them, I think it did do the effect that we were looking for. We kind of controlled the game, controlled the midfield a bit better. I still think PSV were probably the better team, but we were starting to hold our own. It was looking like more of a 50-50 game, especially because of that beginning of the second half where PSV were essentially the better of the team. But we started to hold our own, and those substitutes were really key in it. Declan, to be fair, wasn't looking too bad at centre back. Now, does that mean I will play him again at centre back? No, absolutely not. We need a backup centre back in the transfer window, but Declan wasn't doing too bad there. Martin, of course, you know what he does in midfield. So although I really don't like those substitutions, I could see that it took the desired effect that we were looking for. And in the 80th minute, Arsenal found the ball in the back of the net after a Martin Odegaard free kick. A beautiful cross, a beautiful header from Gabriel Magalhaes. But we always like hating on the refs, and this time I suppose we have to praise them. The sideline ref called it offside without needing VAR. Really good call, just offside, slightly unfortunate, but it is what it is. And in the 88th minute, Reece Nelson and Kai Havertz came off for Gabby Jesus and none other than Emil Smith-Rowe. Finally, Smith-Rowe is back playing football for only 2 minutes, but it is what it is. I will take any minute of Emil Smith-Rowe football that I can get. Hopefully this time Emil will be able to string some games together and stay fit, because when he is fit, he is one of our best players in the squad and could be crucial to a Premier League title run. But tangent aside, it was really good to see Emil back on the pitch. PSV, of course, had that chance towards the end of the game where they skewed it wide. I think on the balance of play, PSV are probably going to be the more upset out of the two. I mean, I know it's a meaningless game for both of us, but PSV probably really wanted to win against Arsenal at home in the Champions League, especially after getting dominated 4-0 earlier on in the campaign. But I mean, it is what it is. I'll take a draw. A decent game. We got to see Smith-Rowe play for only 2 minutes. A little bit upset that we didn't see any academy players come off the bench, but I suppose because the game was so tight, Arteta didn't want us to lose another game in a row, so I can kind of get that. Ramsdale was pretty decent. Declan Rice didn't do too bad in centre back. Jorginho, I thought, was world class throughout the game. Reece Nelson looked very good, and Nketiah was pretty decent, I suppose. So overall, although it was a 1-1 draw and a meaningless game, it wasn't a bad game to watch. Very happy that we didn't suffer any serious injuries. Of course, there is that injury, that unfortunate one to Elneny, but I mean, this may seem harsh or cold-hearted, but I mean, he is a rotational player at best, so I'll take it. No big injuries for the team. We move on to an absolutely humongous game against Brighton on Sunday, so we need to prepare for that. But I will have content for you guys in between, so be sure to stay tuned. Let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think about the game and who was your man of the match. Please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.